What is Agile? Well, as a senior leader, as somebody responsible for transforming your business to be better, more effective in the 21st century, a more useful question is probably, how does Agile help me? What are the benefits? Hi, my name is John McFadyen. I'm one of the managing partners at Agile Centre. I'm also a certified Scrum trainer, and I've been using this Agile thing for over 20 years. Now, what is Agile? Because we get this question a lot, at its simplest, Agile is what's written in the manifesto for Agile software development, more commonly known as the Agile Manifesto. It's 4 values and 12 principles. It's very, very simple. It's the consensus of a group of people who've been trying things out in the 90s and into the early 2000s. And it was what they saw as working in this new and emerging space called the complex domain. Right? This world of we don't know, we have to test and learn not only what the solution looks like, but what the actual problem is. But why does it benefit you? Why are we seeing time and time again companies embark on an agile transformation? Well, the benefits are very clear. When it works exceedingly well. This catapults companies forward, overtaking their competitors. It allows them to respond nimbly to a changing market. If we look at the tech giants at the top of the stock markets today, they are all born into this way of thinking or have been recast into this way of thinking. They have recognized the need to deal with complexity is only rising as complexity in the world has risen. I suspect you're in the same place and you're looking at Agile, wondering what all these funny words are and how on earth are they going to help you? Well, put them all to one side. Don't worry about them. Let's go back to why the original authors of that manifesto chose the word Agile. They were talking about a system, an organization that is responsive, that is adaptable, okay, that can change based on changing circumstances. And I suspect that's what you need. You need the ability to change as your customers' needs change. You need the ability to adapt to a market that seems to be more and more volatile with every year. And how do you come about that? Well, go back to the manifesto and have a look at it. What does it require? It's opening value, individuals and interactions over processes and tools. I suspect you've got lots of processes. I suspect you've got some very, very good tools. And your processes and your tools are managed very well. But I also suspect if you put your hand on your heart, the phrase, despite the process, has been in your repertoire in the past. You've delivered despite the process. You've got things done despite the process. You've circumvented the process to be effective. And that is often the heart of the problem. When we start bringing Agile in, ignore the Agile transformations run by the big consultancies because they're very often trying to sell you a solution. And the honest answer is the solutions within you as an organization. Start looking at these things. Start looking at each area that causes friction, each area that you've delivered despite its existence. Is it serving you? Is it helping you? Is it enabling the right people to have the right conversations at the right time? Because in the 21st century, work is done in our heads. It's not done on a production line, though, yes, that does still exist. And we have some brilliant ways of working with it. If you're trying to improve your manufacturing, go look at lean manufacturing. Go look at people like Toyota who do it supremely well. But that's probably not what you're looking at transforming because we've known that for 50 years. What you're likely to be transforming is the knowledge working areas of your business, the people who think for a living. And how do we get them, and I hate the word, more efficient? Let's drop efficiency for a second. Efficiency is from the production line. It's important, but it's not sufficient. What I want you to do instead is focus on effectiveness. Start thinking about How do we build the right thing? How do we get the right people talking to the right people at the right times? How do we end up solving the right problems? Not the problems we think are right, but the ones that actually turn out to be right. This is at the heart of Agile. You will hear about Scrum, you will hear about extreme programming, you'll probably come across safe and less and lots of terms and acronyms and all sorts. But at the heart of it all, can you work on the most important thing to your business? And if you can, amazing. Can you flex and change as your need flexes and changes? And if you can, amazing. But if you can't, I suggest you start looking at Agile, not in the terms of the frameworks or the methodologies or the techniques, but the underlying thinking. How we approach problems is from a test and learn perspective. It's from the world of experimentation. You have hypotheses and you run experiments to explore those hypotheses. You can never prove it, but you can build confidence in that hypothesis as you go along. I'm a big fan of experimentation all the way up to the board level, talking to people about the need to develop rigorous hypotheses, which you can do. You already do. You may not use the language of hypothesis, but I suspect you think this will help you be better. This will allow you to do this stuff. And then developing the experimental approaches to test those hypotheses and the measures and the criteria for success. And for me, the key here is that it's not about being right. It's about learning. When you run an experiment, you are either going to disprove your hypothesis, you are going to show that a group of smart people who believed a thing got it wrong. And that's great, because if you can do that quickly and cheaply, you don't invest huge amounts of money in doing the wrong thing. And if it stands up, you have more confidence it's true. And what's another step forwards to build even more confidence? So when I'm working with people, it's very often what's the smallest thing you can do? What is something you can do while sat at your desk? I don't want you going off and building things. And I know as somebody who very often has armies of people potentially to do, I want you to ensure when you instruct them to do something, when you set direction, that it's one that is supported by knowledge, not opinion. And for me, this is the core of what we're trying to do, is give you the tools to be able to manage a volatile, uncertain space with as much confidence as you can have, to be able to make lots of small decisions, knowing that many aren't going to pay out, but the ones that do pay out incredibly well. If this is the type of thing that you're struggling with, if you've been baffled by people talking about Scrum and Kanban and Weeble curves and all of that stuff, and you've lost track of what it is you're doing, I would love to talk to you. For me, leading an agile transformation is not what you want to do. What you want to do is get your business fit for the 21st century. You want to change and adapt your processes, your tools, how you document things, how you manage, and most importantly, how you lead the business to enable those people to have the right conversations at the right times, to develop solutions to problems that really matter, and be able to change direction as quickly as reasonably possible, whatever that means for you. If that sounds compelling, if that sounds like a problem that you face today, I would love to talk to you. I spent 20 years working on these types of problems, helping some of the biggest companies in the world in my career understand the need for agility, not necessarily agile, not necessarily all the buzzwords and terms that you come across, but the need to flex and change to meet the market's needs, to stay relevant, ultimately stay alive. If that sounds like something you want to do, I would love to catch up over a coffee.